All right, let's talk about Kubernetes. If you've ever tried to learn it and just felt completely buried, trust me, you are not alone. But what if there was a way to totally flip the script on how you learn it? We're going to look at a pretty wild new approach that lets you actually own the skill before you even crack open a textbook. Let's dive in.
Yeah, for pretty much everyone starting out, Kubernetes feels like this giant mountain. It's huge, it's complicated, and honestly, the path up looks incredibly steep. You know you need to climb it, but just figuring out where to even take that first step, that's a huge challenge all by itself.
And here's exactly why it feels that way. The old school way of learning is this checklist that just never seems to end. You're told, okay, you have to master pods, then deployments, then services, networking, namespaces, config maps, secrets, RBAC, health checks, jobs, cron jobs. It's like drinking from a fire hose of theory, and you haven't even gotten a single real app up and running yet.
It's totally overwhelming, right? But this is where things get interesting. We're going to introduce a really different idea here, a whole new way of thinking. What if you could just sidestep that brutal initial climb? What if you could actually have a real working Kubernetes skill in your hands before you even start stating the theory? And that brings us to the absolute heart of this new approach, owning the skill first. I know, it sounds completely backward, doesn't it? But instead of learning to lay bricks one by one, imagine someone just hands you the keys to a fully built house. Your job isn't to build it from scratch, it's to walk around inside, explore it, and then figure out how it was all put together. This is the promise, right here. The whole idea is captured in this one sentence. Before you get lost in documentation or tangled up in theory, you will own a Kubernetes skill. And that word own is so important. We're not talking about just following along with a tutorial. We're talking about having a real functional skill from minute one. And you can really see the difference when you put them side by side. You've got the traditional path on the left, months of studying, learning all this theory in a bubble just to get one basic thing working. Then look at the right, the new path. You generate a production-ready system in minutes, and you learn by exploring something that actually works. The difference is just massive. Okay, so how on earth is this even possible? It's not magic, I promise. The engine driving all of this is what the source material calls an AI skill factory. Basically, it's a process that uses an AI assistant to do all the really heavy, complicated lifting for you. Let's break down how that actually works. And you're not going to believe how simple the process is. It really just comes down to two steps. First, you grab a tool from GitHub. It's called the Claude Code Skills Lab. Second, you run it with a single prompt that you literally just copy and paste. That's it. Seriously, no complex setup, no long list of prerequisites. So, what is this Claude thing at the center of it all? Well, it's an AI assistant, but here's the really important part. It's not just making stuff up or scraping the web for some random blog posts. It has been specifically trained to study the official Kubernetes documentation. That's how you know the skill it builds for you is based on the right way to do things on current best practices. So you can think of this AI as like your own personal senior engineer. It's not just spitting out code, it reads the official docs for you, it asks you smart questions about things like resource limits and scaling, and it automatically sets up all those critical health checks. It handles all that complexity, putting together the whole skill with references and templates, so you can just focus on understanding the finished product. Okay, so you've done the two steps, you've let the AI do its thing. What do you have at the end of all of this? What does owning a skill actually look like?
The end result is this simple but really powerful statement. You now own a Kubernetes skill. It's not some abstract idea on a to-do list anymore. It's something you actually have.
And this skill is a real thing. We're talking about a complete toolkit of actual files, deployment scripts, YAML configurations, all sitting right there in a folder on your computer. This isn't some temporary demo in the cloud. It's yours. You have a local, working, production-grade Kubernetes setup that was built from the official source of truth.
And this, right here, is probably the most important part. This whole thing isn't a cheat code to skip learning. It's actually a brand new starting line for your learning journey.
So your learning is really just kicking off. But the whole game has changed. You're not starting from a blank page with a mountain of theory to climb. No, you're starting with a finished, working product. Your job now is to explore it, to take it apart, to see how it takes, and to change things. You're learning by doing, by reverse engineering and experimenting. This last quote really nails the whole spirit of this new way of learning.
The AI has built you an amazing foundation. Now the rest of your journey is about understanding what that AI-generated skill knows, and even more importantly, figuring out how you can make it better, customize it, and really make it your own. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? Maybe the future of learning isn't just about what we can memorize from scratch, but about what our AI tools can build for us to explore. A future where we're less like builders and more like explorers and innovators. It's a powerful idea.
Thanks for tuning in.